welcome everyone to another episode of Feel Good Fridays. This is the show where we share with you guys some good news from all over the world to show you guys that there's still a lot of good things happening and to spread some positivity. All right, so let's turn this around. Alrighty, so as you can see, this is the MJKO website. All right, if you have some disposable income, please consider donating to MJKO. You can go to mjko.ca, click the red donate button in the top right, and it'll take you to the donation page. All right, but of course, take care of yourself and your family before you consider donating to MJKO. All right, so first story of the day. All right, this was from earlier on in the week. Ontario moves more regions into stage 3 this Friday, so today. All right, Toronto's not on that list. Toronto has yet to be moved into stage 3. So let's take a read. All right, stage 3 is the next stage. Hopefully Toronto's next week. Ontario, the provincial government, has a weekly press conference every Monday morning. So let's see. Stage 3, so Durham, Halton, Hamilton, Niagara, and all these other regions will be given the green light to enter stage 3 this Friday. All right, so main takeaways. Indoor gathering limits increase from 10 to maximum of 50 people. And then outdoors limit is increased to 100. All right, so that is very good news. So lots of things are opening under stage 3, including regular fitness gyms, which I am looking forward to. All right, next story. Inuit leader reflects on report that CFL team is changing their name. All right, this is in regards to the Edmonton Eskimos. All right, formerly Eskimos. All right, they are now changing their name. So this Inuit leader, let's see what he has to say. Nathan Obed doesn't feel that he himself made the Edmonton football team change its name. Well, that is pretty good news, and we'll get to another story later on about a American football team that is in a similar situation. So now the Edmonton CFL team is called Edmonton Football Team. All right, until they find a new name, of course. They're just going to be referred to as the Edmonton Football Team. All right, this next story. All right, it's a continuation of our story from last week. I told you about this kid. All right, Bridger Walker. Okay, last week I told you about him. He saved his younger sister from a dog attack. As you can see, he has a pretty nasty scar on his left cheek. And last week I told you guys that Captain America, all right, gave him the Captain America shield from the actual movie series. And now the World Boxing Council, WBC, is naming him an honorary champion. What does that mean? All right, let's see what that means. All right, from their Twitter, wow, he gets a belt. Wow, look at a legit WBC. I can't tell who that is. We've got Canelo Alvarez here, Muhammad Ali, of course, Julio Suleiman. What is that? Mikey Garcia. Wait, why is there 2 Mikey Garcias? No, I don't think that's Mikey Garcia. But WBC, solid gold plate, and all the flags of different countries that encompass it. Wow, absolutely amazing. Good on you, Bridger Walker. Our next story from Nick Nurse, the head coach of the Toronto Raptors. He donates Mississauga music teacher $25,000 worth of new equipment. Wow. All right, so let's take a read. Mississauga music teacher is excited for the new academic year after Toronto Raptors head coach Nick Nurse's foundation donated $25,000 to her school to buy brand new equipment for her students. Wow. All right, so, oh my goodness, this is giving me so much street cred with my kids, said the teacher. All right, next story from Delta Airlines. All right, Delta Airlines has now banned more than 100 passengers for not wearing a mask. All right, everyone at this point should know that you should wear a mask while you can't maintain that 6 feet distance. Of course, on planes, you can't be 6 feet apart for the most part, so you have to wear a mask. And it's policy, so that's pretty good that they're actually enforcing the rule. Alrighty, next story. All right, more than 1 million UK citizens have quit smoking during the COVID-19 pandemic. Wow, that is one of the positive side effects of the pandemic. Obviously COVID-19 is a respiratory infection first and foremost. Of course, it does a little bit more than respiratory illnesses sometimes in some patients, but for the main part, it is a respiratory virus. So of course, smoking, affects your lungs and your respiratory. So a lot of people are choosing to quit, which is good for the health. All right, next story from Canada, CBC. All right, hundreds and thousands of Canadians could get a tax break for working from home during the pandemic. I wonder how that's going to work out, because currently I am working from home. So hopefully this tax break benefits all of us working from home. All right, so let's see. Tech experts are calling on government to clarify rules. Workspace and home deduction. It's a deduction. All right, interesting. Hopefully we can figure this out before the next tax season, so we can all get deductions, am I right, for working from home. Alrighty. Next story is from the city of Toronto. They're going to be only closing one street this weekend. Alright, so let's see. This weekend, vehicle access on eastbound Lakeshore Boulevard west from Windermere to Stadium Road will not be permitted from 6 a.m. on Saturday to 11 p.m. on Sunday. So only this one. They closed eastbound Lakeshore before, and of course they closed down 3 roads every weekend before, but now I guess they're only limiting it to 1. But still good for all the pedestrians in the area to go and get active. Alright, next one. More bike lanes coming to Bloor Street West in Toronto from Shaw to Runnymede. Alright, so it is a continuation of the bike lanes already existing on the Bloor Street. Alright, so you can see it continues from West Shaw all the way to Runnymede, so that is pretty good. Alright, next story. Man drives from Virginia to play trombone outside his brother's resting home in Bosman. Alright, so let's see. He drove 1,400 miles to play for his brother. I'm assuming his brother is sick, but let's take a look.
Inside a rest home, COVID-19 has kept family members and friends apart. MTN's Gabby Krevitz shows us how one family is using music in order to reconnect.
It's been really a tough time. My husband's sick and injured and the pandemic, and it means everything.
Robert Graham decided to take a road trip to visit his brother, who's recovering at the Gallatin County Rest Home. The plan, gather together a group of trombones and play outside his brother's room.
1,400 miles it took to get here.
You heard right. Robert drove from Virginia to put on a musical performance for his brother.
Jeannie Little, the current trombone instructor at Montana State, is an old friend of mine. She used to teach at James Madison University in Virginia. So I called Jeannie up and said, Jeannie, put together a trombone section for me, and I brought the music, and here we are.
The group of 5 trombones played a number of tunes, from hymns to classic brass melodies. Robert said it's all about the therapeutic nature of music.
It's resonance, and that's the reason I got my trombone group together. When you resonate chords with other people, you realize that you're connected to them in a very non-verbal way.
And that goes for everyone who's healing.
Our community.
Whoa, the feedback from the mic. But anyways, that is a pretty cool story. Something about the brass instruments just sounds so pleasing. Alright, moving on to our next story. Alright, big one from Chipotle. Alright, the food chain Chipotle is the latest company to spend millions on its expensive benefits for its employees. All right, let's see. All right, it's gonna be a good one. All right, so on October 15th, announced to expand its education program. It will now provide employees with the opportunity to earn a degree in 75 different business and technology fields debt-free. This initiative covers 100% of tuition costs upfront for eligible employees to earn an associate's and bachelor's degree in fields ranging from cybersecurity to supply chain logistics at the University of Arizona, Bellevue University, Brandman University, South New Hampshire University, and Wilmington University. All right, so I would assume that they partnered with all these universities because no way, like if someone works at, you know, Chipotle and they want to go to like Harvard or something, they're gonna something that Chipotle partnered with these universities to cover the cost of tuition. Wow, another reason to support Chipotle. All right. Next story from Miami. All right, this boy celebrates his final cancer treatment with a ride in a Lamborghini. All right, let's take a look. Yep. Being load.
And a South Florida boy is celebrating his last cancer treatment by taking a ride to remember. It was a wonderful surprise for Jake and his family at the Heroes Hangout in North Miami Beach. They took a bright yellow Lamborghini for a spin to celebrate his final round of chemo. It was all thanks to the Mystic Force Foundation, who teamed up with Ride to Revive to make Jake's wish of being an exotic car driver come true.
I feel very nice now. I feel great. No more chemo, no more sickness.
Absolutely incredible experience for my son. In the middle of his cancer treatment, this was such a delight, and we are so grateful.
People don't realize what these children go through and how much they suffer. So we really try to bring them joy and happiness as much as possible.
And to add to the fun, the North Miami Police Department also allowed Jake to ride in their Golden Shuttle.
Wait, what? That is a police car? That is absolutely insane. Gold metallic paint, matte black finish on the hood? That's an insane police car. Wow, North Miami, how big of a budget do you have?
Childhood cancer cruiser.
Wow, all right. Very cool that that boy overcame cancer. Very heartwarming that he got his wish of riding in a Lamborghini. I've never ridden in a Lamborghini before. All right, this next story. Young boy wins bike, gives his neighbor the new wheels. All right, let's take a read. In Memphis, Tennessee, a young boy from Covington decided to give back to a neighbor of his after winning a bike at Covington Parks and Rec's bike park grand opening. So Chase won an mountain bike donated by Bike the Planet Memphis, but had bigger plans for the prize once he got home. He gave the bike to someone who didn't have one, his neighbor Daniel. Wow, nice job, Chase. And you can see here is a picture of them. Let me get a close-up on that bike. That's a pretty nice bike, actually. Disc brakes? Wow, that does not come cheap. Interesting, wow. Alright, next one. A lot of animals lately have been, you know, coming up, rebounding their population numbers. Alright, this next story is no different. Red Kite, 30-year children's project, a conservation success. Alright, so let's see. The reintroduction of red kites to an area of outstanding beauty 30 years ago has been a true conservation success story, an expert says. Number of kites have declined over a 200-year period, and by the 1980s, there were one of only 3 globally threatened species in the UK. Okay, so this from the UK. Alright, they're now thriving with an estimated 1,800 breeding pairs. Interesting. Looks like an eagle to me. Wow, very cool. Alright. Next story from Alphabet, the parent company of Google. Alright, they're flying balloons with floating cell towers across the ocean to bring internet to Kenya's Rift Valley. Alright, so a lot of companies are choosing to go this route. I think another company is doing this too. I forget which company, but They're going this route because it is a low cost internet solution for rural places. All right. So very cool that they're bringing internet to Kenya. I wonder what happens if the balloon pops. All right, the next story. Unconditional loyalty. Camel walks 100 kilometers in the desert alone for 7 days to find former owners. Wow. If that is not the beginning of a Disney movie, I don't know what is. All right, let's take a read. All right. The unconditional loyalty of animals towards their owners is not unknown. Dogs, for instance, are considered to be the most loyal towards humans. In cases of abandonment or lost dogs finding their way back home to their owners are many, right? However, it turns out dogs aren't the only animals thirsty for love. All right. This story is of a homesick camel who trekked alone to find its former owners after being sold to another family 100 miles away. Wow. Very cool. Hopefully they kept it after and found its way back. All right. Next story. A kitten is found safe after riding 91 miles under the hood of a car. Quote, he is a lucky duck. All right, so driver Jennifer Donini realized there was a kitten in her car after hearing a loud meow. Wow. Ooh, is this a picture of the cat? Enhance. Wow. What a high resolution picture. All right, next story. Man makes see-through mask to help deaf and hard of hearing communicate. All right, so of course, deaf people, all right, they cannot hear. So, you know, obviously they use sign language, but they also take their time to read your lips a little bit so they can see what you're saying. All right, so let's see. Wow, that's actually a pretty cool mask. Until you sneeze, am I right? No, I'm just kidding. But that is a very good initiative. So let's see. Okay, Brian Travers learned how to sew for the first time. He soon transformed his new skills into the way of helping people who are deaf and hard of hearing. Wow, very good. Very cool. Our next story. A bull refuses to be parted from cow. All right, so bull is the male, cow is a female. Reunited after a video of him chasing the vehicle cow is being transported and goes viral. All right, let's take a look at this video. Did you sound? There you go. Oh, look at those horns. Just let them be together.
பின்னாடி வந்துருப்பா ஆள் எடுத்தா இருக்கு
Wow. Good thing there is a happy ending to it. They were reared together. Okay. Reunited. All right. Whew. They're reunited. Ugh. What a heartwarming video. All right, next story from the TTC, hashtag take the car, am I right? Wow, no, I'm just kidding. It stands for Toronto Transit Commission. Is selling branded face masks. All right, so let's take a look. All right, here's obviously a TTC employee with one. And here is a face mask, $5 a pop. All right, so proceeds from sales of these masks will go to United Way. Wow, that is a good gesture. Can we enhance? Ooh, TTC. Interesting. All right, next story from Cuba. Shout out to Cuba. All right, Cuban celebrates no local transmission of COVID-19 for the first time in 4 months. Wow. All right, so they said that there's no new domestic cases of COVID-19 as most of the country moved into the final phase of resuming normal activities with masks and social distancing. All right. All right, so this next story from, I don't know where it's from, but anyways, watch zoo penguins delight in their new bubble maker, a gift from staff during the quarantine. All right, without human visitors to keep them entertained, these penguins have been gifted an adorable form of entertainment during the time of quarantine. Wait, we entertain the penguins? I thought the penguins entertain us. Okay, whatever. Let's watch the video. Interesting. All right. This next story. Firefighter rescues 6 dogs from burning home and revive one. All right. So firefighter rescued 6 dogs from a burning home in Washington, D.C. Tuesday's authorities told CBS News. Thanks to the efforts, all dogs survived. Wow. All right. So the D.C. Fire and EMS was called to the blaze around noon. Let's see. 4 residents had already been evacuated by the time first responders arrived and weren't injured, but the dogs were still inside. Yikes. Good thing the firefighters got them out. Next story. Big boxing story. Roy Jones Jr., one of the greatest boxers of all time, is set to fight Mike Tyson in an 8-round exhibition match. It's gonna be on September 12th, Saturday, September 12th. This is Roy Jones. All right, and to piggyback off that, one of the undercard fights, the co-main, well, not the co-main, we don't know what's the co-main yet, but one of the fights on that same card with Mike Tyson and Roy Jones being the main event, and former NBA player Nate Robinson, all right, is going to box YouTube star Jake Paul. All right, Jake Paul famously, he's had 2 professional boxing fights. All right, so that is also happening on September 12th. So mark your calendars off, save the date. Alrighty. Next story. A new NHL team in Seattle. Let's see.
Well, Well, say hello to the Seattle Kraken. The 32nd NHL franchise comes to life in Washington State. The organization announced its new team name and logo in a press conference just half an hour ago. The team says it is inspired by the city's proximity to the sea and honors its maritime history. The Kraken is a legendary sea creature and was a favorite option among fans. The team hinted at the theme last night in a teaser video released online of a family of fishers by the Pacific Ocean.
Wow. I don't know how I feel about Kraken. That doesn't sound like a sports team. It sounds like an esports name, to be honest. But nonetheless, that is pretty cool. 32 teams in the NHL now. Alright. A glimpse inside the NHL bubble. Alright, so let's see. To my understanding, there's going to be 24 teams. Yes, 24 teams in the respective bubbles. Toronto will play host to the Eastern Conference games to be held at Scotiabank Arena. While Rogers Place in Edmonton will host the Western Conference. So 12 teams in each bubble city. So Toronto will play home to the 12 Eastern playoff teams, and then Edmonton will play host to the 12 Western playoff teams. All right. So, yes, we are a hub city. Nice. So let's take a look at what that means. All right. So, all right, this is not quite a good high resolution picture, but let's take a read. All right, so the athletes will stay at Hotel X on the CNE grounds and also Fairmont Royal York. All right, so the 12 teams will be split between the two. All right, they're going to play at Scotiabank Arena, and they also have BMO Field reserved to themselves for recreational activities. So I'm assuming that they can just do whatever they want on BMO Field, right? Play soccer, play games, whatever they want. And of course, they have the event plaza by Hotel X. Now, so let's take a look. BMO Field for outdoor recreational activities, game viewing, and dining options. For interior premium club spaces, boxes, and amenities at Scotiabank Arena, 14 on-site diverse restaurants, bars and pubs, and coffee shops, 8 tennis courts, golf suites, movie theaters, and fitness studios, 12 team-dedicated dressing and medical rooms at Ford Performance CTR dedicated to all teams for the duration, 4 practice facilities with ice rinks, 3 NHL rinks, and 1 Olympic-sized rink. Interesting. All right, and of course that is happening soon, in the coming weeks. And Fairmont Royal York is already getting ready, closing down, all right, to the public, you see, with these barriers, NHL Stanley Cup barriers, closing down, creating their own bubble. All right, next story from Washington, all right, NFL team. They used to be called the Washington Redskins, all right, but of course, they had to change it. They are now referred to the Washington football team for the 2020 season until they pick a new name. That is pretty cool. Edmonton football team first, and now Washington football team. That'd be pretty cool if all the football teams would just be called football teams. But anyways, that concludes our episode for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed all those good news. All right, and be sure to save the day for the next Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. fight. All right. Of course, I understand that, this global pandemic can be a hard and difficult time for some. So, for a mental health resource, if you are a youth, please consider going to Kids Help Phone. All right, you can text, call, phone, live chat them. And of course, this next resource is not age specific, it's for adults and youth. It's called Wellness Together Canada, so you can just Google them, Wellness Together Canada. All right, so that concludes our episode for today. Thank you for joining me, and we will see you all next time.